Hi guys, assalamu alaikum, welcome back. I'm Tarina Shakil and this is like my 10-minute wisdoms. This is going to be the third episode of our 10-minute wisdoms. Subhanallah and Bismillah. So if you've been following, you know that I have started to make these little 10-minute segments based off of questions that you ask me. So I answer them. The questions that I get sent the most, I answer them here. So today's question is, I don't know when to stop making dua for that person. I don't know if it's right for me to stop. I don't know if it's right for me to carry on. I'm not getting any results. I don't know what to do. Like, should I even bother to carry on making dua? Now, I know that you will have seen on social media, because it comes up on my For You page as well, posts that say, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted you to make the dua, that's why you're making it. Basically, he wants to give it to you, which is why he's guiding you to make dua, right? Now, I know that when you read them, you think to yourself, but does he really want me to make that dua though? Because I've been making it for 2 years. I've been waking up at tahajjud. I've been praying when it rains. I've been doing extra sadaqah. I've been fasting. I've been doing everything required to get my dua answered, yet I still haven't had my answer. So I think that's normal that you would think of it like that, because you're going above and beyond to get your dua answered. You make dua at the specific times, but you haven't seen a result yet. Yet is the key word, brothers and sisters. You have not seen a result yet. I want you to remember that. If there's anything I want you to take away from this session, it's yet. You haven't seen a result yet, okay? Yet. Right, subhanallah, let's get back to it. Now, I am going to first of all prove to you from my own experience that you really only do make dua because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allows you to make dua. Do never doubt in that. Never ever doubt it. Because, an example from my life, when I am in sujood, like when I am bowing down, if you're not Muslim, sujood is when we're on the when like our head is on the floor and we're praying. This is, we believe, the closest that we are to our Lord. I make a lot of dua when I'm in sujood, and there are 3 du'as that I make the most when I am in sujood. The first one is, Allahumma inni as'aluka al-jannah. Oh Allah, I ask you for heaven. Allahumma inni as'aluka al-afiyah. Oh Allah, I ask you for afiyah. Afiyah is loads of things combined into one. But do you see how similar them 2 du'as sound? They start exactly the same, it's just the last word is different. So I make them 2 du'as, and then I come to the third one. And I ask, Allahumma ajirni minan nar. This means, oh Allah, please save me, protect me from the fire. But I cannot tell you how many times I have been in sujood, and because I have said, Allahumma inni as'alukal, Allahumma inni as'alukal, when it comes to asking for protection from the fire, I start the dua by saying, Allahumma inni as'alukal minan nar. Subhanallah, a'udhu billah. But, just so you know, what that effectively means is, oh Allah, I'm asking you for the fire. But I promise, sister, subhanallah, wallahi, Allah never ever allows them words to leave my mouth. Never. Never, never, never. So I make the first one, I make the second one, and when it comes on to asking for protection from the fire, I start it exactly like I start the other 2, but he never ever lets them words, even accidentally, I'd never finish it. Never finish the sentence. And before it comes to saying in Arabic, for the fire, a'udhu billah minash shaitanir rajim, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala stops me. And it's like, I wake, I'm like, okay, cool, right, subhanallah, I'm brought back to reality. So when this happened to me, this was when I truly realized, that if I am making dua, it's only because Allah allows you to make it. Believe that, sisters. Now, with regards to if you're making dua for a specific person, because I know a lot of us are, and a lot of us are heartbroken, and a lot of us are heart tangled. I have had a few conversations with a few sisters, and like, I'm going through their journey with them. I have advised them to, instead of making dua for a specific person, this is if you don't know whether to carry on because you haven't seen any results, instead of making dua for that specific person, sisters, make dua for the person whose name is written next to yours. Because if it is him, then you're making dua for him anyway. You haven't lost anything. I just feel that when we become fixated on making dua for a specific person, it keeps us attached to that person. And this ties back to what I was saying in the last video about like, if you make dua for Allah to let you forget somebody, but you're not creating the environment to forget them. So if you're like, oh, I don't know, like, let me get over him, I don't know, I'm not seeing results, but you're still making dua for that person, subhanAllah, you're keeping yourself attached. If you get into sujood, it happens with me all the time. If I say I'm not going to make dua for that person, I come into sujood and I can't help it, the words come out of my mouth. Allah wanted me to make that dua. But am I fixated on making dua for that specific person? No. I don't want to attach myself to that person. Subhanallah. I would rather ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the one who is right for me. The one whose name is written next to mine. If it is that person that I want, if his name is written next to mine, then I haven't lost anything because I'm making dua for him without being specific. Sisters, just think about it. I feel like when we make dua, like I've just said, for a specific person and we become fixated on asking for that person, we keep ourselves attached to them. And I'm mindful that a lot of the sisters are very attached and it's taken over your lives. May Allah, it's horrible. May Allah relieve you from this. Ameen. So, the way that I would advise you is make dua for the characteristics of the man that you're going to marry. Sorry, itchy nose, subhanallah. It's more important for you to make dua that Allah sends you the right person. Can you imagine, subhanallah, and this has happened to me in my life as well, making so much dua to marry a person that is not right for you? Because remember, Allah knows what's right for us. We do not know what is right for us. You don't know. We make dua based off of here and now, but we don't know what the future holds. That's something that really scares me. You know, like if I found myself in a position where I'm making dua to be united with someone in matrimony, betrothed. If I'm making dua for a specific person, I sometimes get scared because I've been through this before and I think, oh my God, what if I'm making dua for someone who's not good for me? What? Imagine I'm begging Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for this man. I'm doing everything. I'm doing sadaqah in his name. I'm fasting the extra fasts. Sorry, subhanallah. I'm increasing my dhikr. I'm saying astaghfirullah 3,000 times a day to be married to this man, but he's not right for me. Just think about that. Imagine begging Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for someone who's not right for you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows what we don't know. That always scares me, that thought. The thought of, imagine begging my Lord for someone that's not right for me. So instead I take a step back and I ask Allah for the person who is right for me. And believe me, sisters, this works. I've been following, like I said, the journeys with a few other sisters and I have advised them this. I have said to them, sisters, look, stop making dua for that person. Stop being fixated on making dua for that person. Some of them have been making dua for a year. Some of them have been making dua for 6 months, for 2 years. And they're like, I'm not seeing results. And I'm like, sisters. And every day they're crying because it's like, I don't know what's going to happen. Sisters, it's normal, subhanallah. So my advice to them is my advice to you. Stop mentioning the person's name and ask for the person whose name is written next to yours. Ask for the goodness, ask for the greatness, ask for the khair. Ask, oh Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, send me a man who is right for me, the man who will protect me, a man who does not have evil intentions towards me, the man who I will walk through the gates of Jannah hand in hand with. That's more important. Sometimes we want somebody from our nafs, even when we know that they're not right for us. I speak to some sisters who you can blatantly see that the person is not right for them, but they're so fixated on asking for that person because they're asking from their nafs. They love them, that's fine. But you have to use logic as well, sisters. You know, if you're going to continuously make dua for someone who doesn't treat you right, who has used you for money, who has been violent towards you, whatever it may be, but you're making dua for that person just because you love them and from your nafs, you know, you have to use logic as well. I've gone over 10 minutes, but what I want to do is advise you also, if you do come to a point where it's like, I don't know what to make dua for anymore, make the dua of Musa alayhi salam. Oh Allah, I am in need of whatever goodness you may send down to me. You're not asking for anything specific. You're just asking Allah because you're in need and you don't know what to ask for, but you want it to be good and you want goodness. Sisters, if I carry on talking, we're going to hit 20 minutes because we know Tarina can talk. A'udhu billah. I wrote a dua ebook. You know this very well. I'm going to link it down there. Thank you for your beautiful comments, people. Thank you for your horrible comments, people. Until the next time we meet, guys, if you've got any topic that I've already got the topic planned for the next episode, subhanallah, but if you've got anything that you want me to talk about or discuss or give my little wisdom on, please do not hesitate to message me on TikTok, Instagram as well, and I'm going to leave it there, sisters, brothers. Assalamu alaikum.